All right. So still talking about the judicial reform. I know we assume that we are practicing a federal system where the states are supposed to be autonomous and independent of the federal. I know in the U.S. you have state courts. For instance, the High Court's restriction is just to a particular state. You have the Supreme Court. The states have their own climax courts. There's a federal climax court and all that. When we have a judicial reform, will it be okay? You just talked about somebody going to KB and forum shopping for the judge that will please him. Is it not possible that we have a reform where matters in a particular state terminates at that particular state, so that you don't have every case going to the Supreme Court and you have that burden on the justices of the Supreme Court? A case that is supposed to be maybe a land matter in a particular community gets to the Supreme Court. Justice delay. They say it's justice denied.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's the situation we have found ourselves, except there's a reform where such a law is changed. Otherwise, if the law permits that, if you have issues bordering on land, it must terminate at the Supreme Court. We don't have anything to do about that, right? Except if we say, okay, let us change the law that issues bordering on land terminates at Court of Appeal. You know, when it has to do with a National Assembly or national elections and all that, there are some cases that terminate at the Court of Appeal, while some gets to the Supreme Court, right? So we can decide to see how to tinker around it and see that, okay, when issues bordering on land, let us see that it doesn't drag for too long, right? Our laws, they are obsolete, whether we like it or not. A lot needs to happen. A lot needs to happen within the law. We change them to fit current realities. Imagine in 2021, a mastermind of suicide bombing in Kano was arrested in 2012, and just the case was dispensed in November this year.
From 2012?
From 2012. That's about 11 years. So how should we have a situation like that? He was sentenced to 20 years in prison and all that. And they said it will run concurrently, meaning from that 2012 that he was arrested. So what that means is that in the next 3 or 4 years, he will be out, you know. So crime and punishment must go hand in hand, in as much as we are saying that the right thing needs to be done, right? So the judiciary is the last hope of the common man. We must have confidence in the judiciary. Some persons approach the court, at the end of the day, they don't get judgment in their favor. Meanwhile, the facts are clear, the evidence are clear. But some persons feel that they have the wherewithal to see how to obtain cases in their favor, you know.
Still touching on these financial inducements that you're bringing up, do you think this has in any way to do with welfare of judges, or is just simply greed on their part? Would you say poor welfare for the judicial system is the cause of this problem?
I don't agree that it's because of poor welfare. Or they pay them well. The government is aware of the roles that they play, you know, in the stability and sanity of our society.
So it's a great problem.
It's a great problem.